I got briefly mistaken for someone who might be good in bed, which was very, very good. I don't want to associate myself with any specific group of politicians. In life, if you have an enthusiasm for what they call good manners, sometimes people don't quite believe you. I've had that once or twice before, where they assume you can't be for real. I don't even own a car. My dad had a personal style which was very attractive. It was quite reserved and quite elegant, and it was infectious. I've never been a great enthusiast about how I look, and I am very. When I was young, I had a real anti-talent for inventing myself as unappealing, craven and unremarkable. There are only 3 men in the world who are licensed to wear shorts: Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp and Tom Cruise. If you ever see me in a social setting wearing any sort of sportswear, then you know I'm in crisis. When it comes to casual clothing, my enthusiasm for clothes starts to waver. Never go anywhere you have to wear brown shoes. I speed up past mirrors. I did pick up a guitar once, but the strings hurt my fingers, so I put it down again. I wanted to be a journalist. I thought it was glamorous and that I'd meet beautiful women in the rain. The way the elderly are treated, and in some cases warehoused and medicated, rather than nurtured and listened to, is distressing. One of my great regrets, and I don't have many, is that I spent too long putting people's status and reputation ahead of their more important qualities. I learned far too late in life that a long list of letters after someone's name is no guarantee of compassion, kindness, humor, all the far more relevant stuff. All actors who have been around for a long time, which I have, and have been skint for long periods, which I have, find it difficult to turn down jobs. If I turn anything down, my stomach turns over. I feel sick. It feels like gambling. When you've been going on about something for a while, it is always satisfying to discover that other people agree with you. I'm not a financial expert. The Robin Hood tax seems to me a very simple and beautiful idea. I don't see the problem. If I ruled the world, every woman would have a Chanel suit in her wardrobe. If you are supposed to be villainous and have some sort of agenda, I like the idea of delivering that kind of character in a perfectly well-mannered way. I don't do plays without jokes anymore. I've retired from those plays. I think it's bad manners to invite people to sit in the dark for 2.5 hours and not tell them the joke. Anyone who can do the splits and come back up on the backbeat, as James Brown and Prince can, has my eternal respect. Prince, who is a genius of the highest order, can come back up while singing and playing the guitar. I guess part of the hitman appeal is the solitude. Everybody is lured to the idea of the solitary life. I know really, really famous people who are terrified every time they walk onto a stage. I don't spend a lot of time with anybody. I've always slightly worried the kids who play football around my house. They know I'm an actor, but felt sorry for me because they'd never seen anything I've done. When I do a play, it's like agreeing to be ill for a couple of months. I'm one of those weird people who doesn't even own a computer. Emma Watson is adorable in the extreme. She is such a lovely person. I've worked with Len Wiseman before, on the Underworld series, in which I was a vampire. The first 2 of those were his first 2 films, and I admire him beyond measure. I think he's tremendous, as a man and as a director. I like sci-fi. I have a perfectly average skewed perception of myself. We often don't know what we're like. More people saw me in Love Actually than had seen me in everything else I had ever done up to that point. You get older and you see yourself and say, God, he's old, who's that? One of the reasons I like a suit is because I've never been that keen on my body. The shape a suit presents is always going to be better than anything I can do. The degree of notoriety I have is fine and easy. There's nothing hysterical about it. I hardly even leave my own house. I'm not famous for my backstory investigations. I'm lucky that I work with good writers and it's usually in the script. When a movie is called Searingly Honest, it's almost invariably grim and demonstrates how bad things can get. I don't seem to be able to learn from experience or anything useful. History doesn't help me. Precedents don't inform my experience. It can't be overstated how wonderful it is not to have to audition anymore. Any actor will tell you, it's like Christmas. If I'm going to appear in front of people, I like to look my best. I was never a hippie, per se. One of the things that is assumed about actors is that they are extrovert, which is almost never the case, in my experience. I'm not a royal family watcher. I find it hard to relax around any man who's got the second button on his shirt undone. It's probably healthier to find fame later in life. When you have a family, or even when you're just seeing a girl, it's difficult to be skint. You can ruin your life wanting to be an actor. Hunger is almost like something the West does. It's almost like the direct result of the way the West performs. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.